Welcome to another episode of Inside the Chambers. I'm your host, Bria Tai, and today we are here with DJ Ignite to discuss music and its impact on the community, as well as a few elements of entertainment law. So welcome to the podcast, and thank you for being here today.
Thanks for having me, 100%.
Could you tell us a bit on how you got into DJing and what inspired you to make this your career path?
It all started in college, to be honest with you. It started just hearing music being played, and I was like, maybe should not have been played that particular way.
Okay.
Or maybe I like to hear this song after that. And it kind of led me to venture towards the DJ booth. I'm like, oh, that's what they're doing.
Yeah.
So with not being able to come home because of financial issues, basically stayed in university and collected music. So that kept me connected to everybody. You know, what are you listening to? What are you listening to? Like, you know, because everybody kind of separates after high school.
Right.
High school, you're getting forced to be a certain place,
Mm-hmm.
you know, by your parents. But other than that, when you hit university, it's every walk of life, from every demographic, from every point of the globe, that come to another place. So you meet new people, different cultures, and that's how I started to venture into music more in depth, just by collecting it.
Yeah.
I couldn't physically play. You know, it was nothing to it at all. I didn't have any programs, any computers to do that stuff. I just totally just saved MP3s. Simply said, that was it. So it was nothing behind it. I just was a guy who fell in love with collecting music. That was the whole goal.
Yeah, and so then how did you learn the skill of DJing?
So the skill of DJing, I ventured into some nightclubs here once I was kind of back and forth to university. So I ventured in. Connected with a few guys down here where I was like, I told them what my goals were. I want to play. You know, I want to learn how to do this. But I could understand they did not know my background or what music I already had. So I had a general idea what music and scales and scores sounded like, and notes and keys, but I just did not know how to use the equipment. So that's how I got into learning how to play. Just random, show up to a nightclub, picked a guy who was a very, very big entertainer in the country at the time, who taught me how to play.
How do you think music helps foster a sense of community within our country?
It speaks to everybody. That's the thing. Like you've grown up in a different class of people. I've grown up in a different class, but we do share the same common taste of music. Right. You may have a pop song versus they may have a hip hop, but just as well as that speaks to you, your pop song speaks to me, because music is a universal language.
Right.
There's no race, no gender to it. It's just good sound and emotion. That's simply it. So you can share it no matter what race you are too. So it cross platforms without any hesitation.
Absolutely. Yeah. So as you grow in popularity, what steps have you taken to legally protect your DJ name and your brand image?
So that's the thing. You never know how big it's going to get. And I looked at superstars who are way out there, and use the World Wide Web, the internet. And I started to find out some superstars who I created relationships with, who had law firms in place already to protect their image and likeness, and also logos and branding. You don't know how big you're going to get. Nobody teaches you how big you're going to be. It's all within yourself. But I did it in the early stages and sacrificed a lot of money financially to protect the brand, and it blew up because you have to put an effort into your dreams. So I'm protected U.S., Canada, Brazil, I'm not sure why Brazil, but U.S., Canada, Brazil, Bahamas, trademarks, image and likeness, all of that is clear for entertainment, clothing, branding, whatever social media materials or anything that needs to be used for.
In your opinion, what would you say to aspiring DJs, and what advice would you give them when they're signing contracts with individuals in the music industry or, for example, event coordinators?
I would highly suggest paying for legal advice. Trust me when I say it, because binded contracts are very, very, very intricate.
Right.
You do not know. Most of us only look at the total figure at the bottom.
Exactly.
We don't understand different things that may adjust events, or you may not be able to show up. It could be different clauses that could affect you greatly, even while you're performing at an event.
Right.
That may subject you to losing compensation. Yeah. So I would highly get to know a lawyer. Trust me. It doesn't have to be someone specific as a music lawyer, but I would go ahead and contact legal advice immediately before you sign anything.
Absolutely, because you need that lawyer to explain to you all the terms clearly. So how do you think your personal experiences and connection to the local culture have helped shape the way you approach your music and your sets?
It builds an amazing fundamental base, put it like that. I grew up playing in the Bahamas. We call it on the road, which means you're not within the hotel or any corporate aspect of it. those are the best DJs. They have the best fundamentals that you can see worldwide. And it's noted that when international guests come here, whether it be a corporate event or tourists, they see what the local market does. They understand the emotion and the skill sets.
Right.
So to any DJ starting, I highly suggest beginning in the Bahamas, on the road, technically speaking. That culture will teach you everything fundamentally you need to know. And also it'll teach you all the facets of music that you may not see being within the hotels or within the tourism industry or within corporate. So trust me, start that way. It will work.
What advice would you give to any aspiring DJs or artists who are just starting out and want to use music to make an impact on their community?
So I would highly suggest finding the best. See who's the best performer that's on turntables, that's in front of a crowd, and then also find out who is the best business-wise. It may be the same person. It may not be. In the end, the way you play music is going to be your way. Everyone has a different feeling and different emotion on how they want to build something. But I would say find a superstar. And they may be two different people or maybe one. And that's what's going to teach you everything you need to know. And stay with them as long as you can before you take off and like, I can do that.
Right.
No, trust me. You're going to hit a lot of speed bumps. So I would stay with them as long as you can through adversity, through good times also, before you go ahead and step out on your own.
Right, absolutely. Well, thank you for coming on the podcast today.
No problem. Anytime.